Welcome back to the Carthage campaign, guys, in Imperator Invictus. Last time, we absolutely demolished Rome and took over pretty much most of Italia. So in today's video, we are going to be expanding north and south into the Atlas and also into the Gauls of northern Iberia and southern Gaul. First things first though, guys, I'm going to let the aggressive expansion tick down, continue building up our nation, building a few more cities, all that sort of thing, and we'll be ready to go. And I think we'll study the North African ways of war as well, guys, just so that we can get some more traditions, because our Levantine ones are not amazing anymore. It's all ship ones, and honestly, we're fine for ships. We've got so much power on the sea now. Oh, and by the way, guys, Mago didn't actually die. He just got elected the show pet, so he's actually still alive over here. He is 71 though, so there is a chance that he might die soon. But he does actually have children. Yatont Zid over here, who's a researcher, but he is also a pretty good character. So thank you to whoever pointed that out in the comments last time. Let's now also found a colony in Etruscan. That should hopefully convert this land a little bit easier. Right then, guys, while we're continuing to build cities and all that juicy good stuff, let's clean up a few of these nations down here. Unfortunately, we can't quite clean up these guys yet because we don't actually border them. So either we need to colonize that province or they need to colonize it, and then we can take them out. But yeah, let's have a go at a few of these. I wonder whether Fezzan... Yeah, Fezzan's by itself as well, so we'll probably have a go at them as well, but they're not going to know what's hit them, basically. This is going to be pretty insane. Well, in the end, they got some mercenaries, but we can take everything now. Very nice and easy. Ooh, and doesn't that look very juicy? We are going to integrate Agadir down here very soon as well. The only annoying thing is Gindania as well is still a tribal vassal, so I am improving with them. Hopefully, they'll become a client state. Right then, now let's get into these guys down here and clean these up. So, guys, unfortunately, I've had another crash. We did clean up these boys. We've also fought Fezzan, just came out of that war now. It wasn't a hard war at all, but yeah, you haven't really missed anything, just those two things. We're very close to 10,000 population now, which is pretty awesome. And as a side note, guys, if you are enjoying this Carthage series, please do make sure you like and subscribe. It really does help the channel out. Let's see if we can get to 200 likes on this episode. And as a side note, guys, I am playing on the old version of the mod. A brand new version of Invictus has come out, so this is probably going to be the penultimate episode of the Carthage campaign. Like I said at the start, our goals are to finish off Iberia, finish off Transalpine Gaul and Cisalpine Gaul, and then basically Fezzan and Kyrenaica, so those will be the last things we take off the Ptolemies. If we can do anything else, that'll be a bonus goal, but I need to get onto the new version so that we can get back to doing A to Z, because this old version, when you install it manually, it's a little bit more unstable. I'm having a few more crashes. And of course, it doesn't have the updated content that I need to be on to play the A to Z. So, yeah, this is probably going to be the penultimate episode, but I think those goals are pretty good indeed. The thing is, not all campaigns need to be all conquering, you know, conquering the whole world. You know, I think those conquests are pretty damn impressive, if you ask me, as Carthage. So yeah, you don't need to be conquering the whole world every single time you play. Right, let's finally begin integrating Agadir. They've been our boy since the start, so they've done a very good job for us. They've even got a legion, which is pretty cool, but yeah, it's time to go, my friends. Let's clean up all of this border. Well then, guys, it's finally time to take Saguntum. Quite late, honestly. You know, the thing that triggered the Second Punic War, the sacking of Saguntum, so yeah, we're going to take it a little bit late, but we are going to be declaring war on these guys. They are going to bring in some of their buddies, but who really cares? Let's declare war on them. In the meantime, I've been founding cities all over southern Spain up here. I've also founded a couple of cities in Africa as well. And I've also been building in all of these cities great temples, grand theatres. I've been doing the same in Italia. The only problem is in some of these places, like this one, they're disloyal, so we can't actually build them just yet. But basically, we're going to save up a bit of money, bit of influence, so we can found a few more cities once we take a bit of this land. Well, guys, a bit of a bitty war, but not too bad in the end. So we're going to take quite a lot in this peace deal. As usual, 43 aggressive expansion, that's what we're going to take. Look at those borders. They are very nice indeed. We're going to have to wait a little bit again to let the aggressive expansion tick down somewhat. but I think we should be fine. And look at that. That is very nice borders. In terms of cities, though, there are a couple up here that we've taken, but we need to keep on building more. And we can actually release a nation over here. I believe it comes out over this way, but no, we're not going to do that. Why would we do that? I think it's a cool event, though, if you want to play as them. We finally colonized this little province here, guys, so we've kept a lot of the armies out. I think it might be a little bit overkill with the amount of troops we've got over here, but yeah, it'll be fine. And yeah, now we can finally clean these guys up. I'm also going to release these guys as a tribal vassal anymore, and we're going to fabricate a claim on them as well, because yeah, they're just kind of in the way of our lovely, nice, clean borders. Well, there we go. Basically assaulted the fort straight away. So, yeah, it was about 2 months and a very nice, easy victory for us, guys. Now, let's continue to build up and build a few more cities. Start converting our pops. If you have a look at the map, look how much Canaanite is spreading now in these areas that we have conquered. Very nice indeed. I think that's the ultimate insult to Rome, if we can make it Canaanite and Punic, and as you can see, Punic is spreading in Italia over here. It's also spreading in Iberia. There's less Punic than you might expect in a lot of these regions, but if we actually look at Punic, so if I do that, you can see that it has spread everywhere. It's just not the dominant culture in a lot of places. And speaking of cultures, let's found a colony in Garamantic. Ooh, and that's interesting. The Ptolemies have decided to declare war on us. I mean, we have a lot of aggressive expansion, so I don't think I want to take anything from this war. Potentially these little bits here, just so that they're cleaned up, but yeah, interesting. It's going to take forever to get all of our troops to where they need to go, so let's begin. Well, here we go, guys. We do have shock action with our elephants at the front. Let's see what tactic they're using with their legion over here, who is pretty much just spearmen and light cavalry. Interesting. How do elephants do against spearmen? They actually do well, plus 10% damage, so we should be okay. And what the hell? How did Ptolemaic troops end up over here? I don't know where they've come from. The Nesiotic League, they must be being dropped off by ships, but I need to pick up some troops with my ships, and then I'll use them to smash their navy, hopefully. Well, let's see how we do against this legion then. We've got way more troops, but apparently we're just going to get absolutely hammered. They've got 10% more discipline than us. We're using the right tactic, but yeah, 10% more discipline. I think we might win in the end just from numbers. Yeah, sheer numbers. We actually stack wipe them. Wow, I've never seen a battle start so badly and then lead to a stack wipe, but okay, we'll take it, boys, we'll take it. Well, here comes a proper legion over here. A lot of troops. They've even got war elephants themselves, but yeah, I mean, why did they declare war? I think that was kind of silly of them, to be fair. Well, guys, I think it's quite clear that this war is just going to be a brutal and long and bloody one if we, you know, carry on and fight to the end. And honestly, we've only got a little bit of aggressive expansion we could take anyway, so it's really not worth it. And they're also ravaging our countryside over here. I don't know how they got here. They must have been dropped off by ships, and I forgot to use my ships. Great. A bit of a mistake there, but it's okay. So I think we'll just white piece them, and yeah, it doesn't really matter. Like, the Ptolemies are going to be the big bad guy at the end. Oh my god, look at Upper Egypt though. That's so cool. Wow, nice. A Kemetic Memphite Upper Egypt versus the Hellenic Macedonian Ptolemies. I mean, if we weren't a great power, I'd love to ally those boys, but we're a great power, so we can't. While we're here, though, guys, let's finally clean up these boys over here. Should be nice and easy. Well, there we go. Finally done. Very nice indeed. And now the borders are exceptionally clean, boys. Awesome. And there goes a war of independence down here. I've just got some mercs. Hopefully they can deal with it. Well, there we go. Nice and easy, boys. And apparently we can raise legions even though we're still on Maganid levy laws. So I'm not going to play around with anything just yet. I'm just going to raise another legion, guys. Well, there we go. It's a 40-20 legion with 10 engineers, which is pretty good for sieges, and 5 supply trains. So should be a nice little legion. Ah, and it looks like our fleet actually got beaten in the last war. So Yeah, I guess the Ptolemies do have a better fleet than us. Well then, guys, it's time for another round of vigorous expansion. So let's get into these guys up in the north. Aeduia is their ally, but we're really not bothered about them. I don't think they're going to be able to put up too much of a fight, so let's get into it. And they don't even have any forts. That's a bit of a mistake, guys, I'm not gonna lie. And let's put this brand new legion to the test, boys. Let's see how they do. Against 10,000 men, so should be nice and easy for them. Looks like they've got their heavy cavalry in the middle. But there we go, was a pretty nice victory. I'm also now going to study the Iberian ways of war, guys, because if we look at our traditions, once again, I know we've gone on about traditions a little bit today. Like, Numidian ones, maybe I made a mistake before. I think we already did have Numidian ones, actually. But now we get Iberian and Celt-Iberian. And there are some good little bonuses in here. Less so in the Celt-Iberian. But the Iberian ones here, it says found city cost modifier. So we're going to go for that straight away. And there's even free innovations in here too. So it's quite a good little set of traditions. Well then, guys, here we go. We can take all of that. All of the northwestern corner of Iberia is now ours. Very nice indeed. I think, honestly, with their aggressive expansion, we maybe shouldn't get too involved in all of this, but let's at least get all of Iberia in this run, and then we can spend a bit of time building up the nation again. Well, let's get into these boys over here. It shouldn't be too much aggressive expansion. I'm hoping anyway, but I guess we'll find out. Well, I think we also declare war on Cessatania over this way too, because they've declared war over here. So basically, we're just going to try and steal their war gains. Well, there we go. They actually peaced out, so we are free to just fight as much as we want on this. Well, there we go. And somehow that is 30 aggressive expansion. That is a lot, but oh well. You know me, guys. Yeah, we might as well just take all the aggressive expansion at once and then spend a few years trying to rectify our mistake. Let's also found another colony in the Celt-Iberi, which are all the guys up here around this region. And guys, a massive moment for us here. A city has just been done on the north coast of Iberia. Let's get our couple of assimilation and conversion buildings in there. But if we have a look at the city map now, guys, we pretty much, I'm pretty sure I've gone through most of these, have a city in every single province in Iberia now. That is amazing. We have finally brought civilization to the stinking Gauls. But, but yeah, that is amazing, guys. So, you know, it's not as built up as, say, Italia, but honestly, look at it. It's probably more built up than North Africa in a lot of ways. So what we're going to do now is switch across to building up North Africa. Like, look at these areas that don't even have cities in, and obviously the areas that we have taken. So let's go with that because it is an oasis. I did check that before. Yeah, you don't want to build in desert hills. Definitely not. Look at those bad modifiers there. So yeah, Iberia is a bit weird though. Most of it is plains, so it's very hard to find farmland to build cities in. So yeah, most of it is plains, but plains is fine. It's not a problem. It's just when you're building in hills, forests, that sort of thing, not as good. So it's hard to find farmland over there. Whereas look at Italia. That is a lot of farmland in Italia. But sorry, before I went off on a tangent there about building tall in this game, guys. Yeah, we're going to now focus on North Africa and start civilizing these uncivilized lands over here, and hopefully that will then allow us to convert more of this population, civilize it a bit, all that sort of thing. We have built roads pretty much everywhere. Look at that. Very nice road network. That's what we've been doing, guys, just plugging away at that. You can see aggressive expansions down to 0. This is one thing I was going to ask you guys, for you guys that like these campaign sort of series. Obviously, when it gets to this point, when you're so big, all you spend your time doing is like building up tall, and you don't really show that in a video because there's only so many times you can show one thing over and over again. So would you prefer to maybe see a little bit more of that or less of that? How would you like to see it? Just let me know down in the comments below. But without further ado, let's get back to the big boy business of declaring war on Viviscia over here. And as our goals go, let's have a look. We just want to take this bit of land here to finish off Iberia. And if they have anything in Cisalpine Gaul, they do have that, but unfortunately we can't actually take it because, yeah, I mean, we could take those two and there, and then it would be like, you know, both sides of the Pyrenees. Honestly, that's quite a nice border, so let's do that if we can. I'm sure it'll be a pretty easy war, as all the wars against the Gauls are now. But honestly, their troops are pretty tough. A lot tougher than I kind of expected. So we're still going to win, but interesting how tough their troops actually are. I think they're probably getting a few bonuses. Well, guys, there we go. Nice and very, very quick war indeed. So that's what we're going to take. This should be quite a nice border here as we come into Cisalpine Gaul. And then, yeah, we basically just need to connect our lands now so that we control the whole Western Mediterranean like true Carthaginian boys. And of course, that means we get to found some more cities, which are so cheap to found now. 27.5 influence, very cheap indeed. Well then, guys, it's time to take on the absolute monster that is Insubria. I mean, look how big they are. They got 14 stability though. Sounds like there might be a civil war at some point. No, there isn't going to be a civil war, but why do they have such low stability, bro? That is so low. And they are already in a war in the north. So hopefully we can, like, sort of smash and grab this. But let's see. And just look at the boys go. Absolutely rampaging with elephants. Look at this. 31 war elephants in the levy of Magna Graecia, of all places. Absolutely insane. I love this. Well, guys, this is the situation now. We are absolutely dominating them. But, oh, no, they've taken that back. That's very annoying. It's just these little units that just get around and unsiege things. It's really, really frustrating, as always, in this game. So, yeah, we've just got to keep trying to push them back and win a few of these fights. Well, guys, we've managed to push them back a little bit more. I don't think we're going to be able to take all of Cisalpine Gaul maybe in this war, but let's see. Well, there we go. That seems fine enough to me, connecting the land, taking a bit more of this Transalpine Gaul land. There we go. Oof, and look at that. Isn't that just glorious, guys? That is very juicy indeed. And good job we've saved some money, because I'm going to expand this legion over here. We're also building all the requisite buildings in the cities, of course, guys. So, yeah, we are, of course, continuing our development of this land. And that is a nice rounded legion, if you ask me. And there we go with temporary office, guys. Threshold for civil war plus 5%. I mean, it's not like we've been having anything close to a civil war for ages, but it's always a good tech to get, just in case, especially when you're this big, because a civil war when you're this big is just a nightmare. While we're on the subject of cities, guys, we might as well talk about where to found cities when you have conquered land that is, you know, devoid of them. So first things first, look at the city map mode, and I can see that over here, this province here doesn't actually have a single city as of yet, even though we've had it for a very long time. And there's a few things that you want to have a look at first as to where to found your city. The terrain has a big impact on how that city is going to work. Honestly, hills is not too bad. Movement cost, that's moving slaves and tribesmen if you're not a kingdom or republic. Plus 20%, it's not too bad. Civilization level, minus 2% as well. It's not horrendous, really, is it, guys? But you'd rather found it in a place that has no malices at all. So plains over here, you know, local food plus 4 is very good. Of course, farmland is excellent for that population capacity. But floodplains are even better, but there aren't many of those in the world, as you can see, guys. Obviously, the worst place to found them is in, like, mountains and desert hills. That is really, really bad. But some places you might have to. They might not have any other regions. Like, you know, some of these guys over here, they've only got a couple of hills, mainly mountains. Like, this one is all mountains. So if you're going to found a city in there, you have to found it in the mountains, unfortunately. On top of that, what you want to have a look at is the population in these areas. This isn't the most important thing, because if you found it in a low population place, people will still come and migrate to the city if you build the requisite buildings. but it is better to get it off the ground with a larger population already. So, for example, in here, I'm going to found it here. It also does help to be connected to a road network as well, guys. That gives bonuses to assimilation, to trade, all that sort of thing. But it's only a marginal bonus, so if it's not specifically connected to a road network, don't worry too much about that. And then the last thing, guys, is of course the trade resources that it's producing. Like, if you have a very valuable trade resource in an area, they can get replaced when you build cities. Like livestock, I think, gets replaced, and it probably will become cloth, I think. So you just want to make sure you're not getting rid of a trade resource. But sometimes in some of these areas, like spices, for example, I believe that will stay if it's a city. So you might want to be able to build a foundry there, so you might choose this place to build it so that you can build a foundry, get more spices, that sort of thing. And here's one I made earlier. So we've got this city, the coming of the city of Siilmassa over here somewhere. And there it is, it's in the plains. A lot of the time though, in deserts, guys, you can get oases. So these are actually really good. Obviously a huge bonus compared to desert or desert hills. So yeah, make sure you're building in oases in desert regions. But as you can see, the city is now done, and it was producing grain, but now it's producing cloth. So that's why we want to have a look at what the trade resource is. Fortunately though, this province has plenty enough food, so it's not a worry that we replace the grain. But what do you want to build once you've built your city in an area that you're trying to assimilate and convert and civilize, basically? Well, a lot of it depends on the population. I'm just going to let a month tick over. As you can see, now it says 8 out of 10 on the slaves, 5 out of 2 on the citizens, and 2 out of 2 on the freemen. So let's let a month tick over and see whether it updates. And as you can see, now it's become a city. It's 8 out of 3 on the slaves, 5 out of 4 on the citizens, 2 out of 6 on the freemen. But first things first, I want to convert this place over to my culture, so I'm going to build a grand theatre and a great temple. If you want some extra bonuses to the speed of conversion, you can build marketplaces and libraries, and that will basically, you know, speed up your conversions and your assimilations. But for now, we've only got 4 building slots. So what do I want to do? Well, as you can see, we've got way too many slaves in here. So I'm going to build a mill. That gives more slave desired ratio, so there should be an extra slave on there. That means they're less likely to migrate away, they're more likely to stick around, and hopefully some will get promoted as well. And then we can also see that we've got 1 extra citizen than we need, and the citizens are quite unhappy. As you can see, this bar here, they are unhappy. So we're going to build a court of law that keeps them happier and also allows more citizens inside the city, so they're not getting upset by that. Basically, you just want to judge it based on the population. These buildings, you can build 3 of each of these, but obviously we only got 4 building slots in here. If you want to specifically designate the city for more resources, you build a foundry, and then, you know, all that sort of thing, like research points, your libraries, your marketplaces. I don't think I need to go through all of that, but I'm talking about cities that we're building in areas that are foreign to us, or, you know, not our culture, that sort of thing. So that is how I do it anyway. There might be better ways to do it, but that's the way I do it. And one other thing to note as well, guys, if you are building a city on the coast, ports do really help with migration attraction and migration speed. So if you are building a city, say on the coast with a small population, you might want to build a port straight away to get more people into the city. Well then, guys, Insubria seems to be falling apart right now, so let's go in for them one more time. And of course, basically just taking these 2 provinces and the provinces here, and that should be all that we really want. So let's see how it goes. It should be fine again, hopefully. Yeah, they're already in a war up in the north as usual, so let's go. Let's also found a colony in Lepontic. That's going to help with our conversion over in this region. I haven't even seen a single Insubrian troop yet, so it makes me nervous, but at the same time, I think we're going to be okay with this one, boys. Oh, there we are. Finally, some troops. I'm assuming they've been fighting up here, so finally, let's smash them, boys. Come on, let's go. Here we are. The elephants are getting... Oh, yeah. Yep. The army's not set up. I always forget that it doesn't save your setups. That would be so good. Like, can you imagine it saved your setups for your army so you didn't have to do it every time? Honestly, when you get to this point with so many armies, I just leave it because I'm lazy. But anyway, that is enough of the fighting of this war, guys. We won't have to fight these guys anymore. Let's just go for that straight away Oh, and aren't those just glorious borders? Not quite fully glorious because we haven't got this yet. We haven't got Veneto off Rome, but we're going to do that right now. And damn, Seleucids are looking pretty darn thick, aren't they? They've done very well. I think that's the best I've seen the Seleucids do for a long time. Normally, they just get destroyed by everyone, like the Parthians and all that sort of thing, so fair play to them. They're doing very, very well indeed. And Upper Egypt is gone, unfortunately. Sad times, sad times. Right then, let's get into Rome one last time, I believe, for this campaign. So, yeah, it should be okay. And damn, the Senate wants shortened terms. That's not something I'm willing to do. 50 approval from the Democrats down the... Oh, dear, dear me. I really don't want to get into a spiral of bad support from the Senate. So... Let's have a look at what's that spread Tanit worship law. Ah, that is conversion speed. No, I think we're fine. I think we just try and hold out for this one term and see if we can hold out long enough to keep everyone happy. Well, there we go, guys. We only saw 2k of the Roman troops, probably blocked because this is Rome now, apparently, guys. So let's just go for that. And that is our borders in the north and the west. Completely satisfied, my friends. Completely satisfied. Let's just carry on and fight a little bit more in the south because we want to sort our borders out down here as well. Well, there we go. We just assaulted the fort. Very nice and quick. That is it, boys. Look at those borders. Oh, aren't they juicy? They are very nice. Indeed. Well, guys, after founding a few more cities, specifically over here and around here, we're very much ready to finish this episode. We are pretty much the hegemons of the Western Mediterranean now, aren't we? The hegemons of the West. Very good indeed. The hegemon of the West. Should I say the hegemons? What am I talking about? And next time is going to be our final episode where we are going to be taking on the Ptolemies once and for all. But if we have a look at our religious map mode now, guys, as you can see, pretty darn amazing. The only places that haven't gone full Canaanite is the places we've just taken. But even some of them, look how quickly it's converted. Then let's have a look at our culture. As you can see, again, much more spotty, but we are slowly but surely getting there. If we press on Punic, as you can see, plenty of Punic people around the world. In fact, 7,150 Canaanite Punic people, with Lepontic as the second largest culture group now in our nation. But anyway, guys, I hope you have enjoyed. Please do like and subscribe. It really does help the channel out. And I will see you all again on the next video.